Hello, let's do the New York Times Hard Sudoku for July 14th, 2026. There's a link in the description if you'd like to try the puzzle yourself, and I'm going to get started right now. All right, 4 and 6 in this box. The 4, well, that's the only 4, so it doesn't really do anything. This 6 joins with this 6. This 6 looks up, putting a 6 in, if I can click right, one of these two. All right, vertically, this 6 looks down, this 6 looks in, and I'm noticing the 8 joins it with this 8. So we have two crossings at once, which gives us a hidden pair. So what do I mean by crossing? Why am I looking for this kind of thing? So this 1 and 9 here, this is traditionally how I'd find a crossing. I found it just through normal scanning, but this is how I recommend finding it directly, which is we have two givens in this box, and they share a column, which means they occupy two different rows, but they're in the same column, right? And so there's going to be one row they don't occupy, this row here. But what we're looking for is digits over here in this row that match digits here. Because what that's going to do is, for example, this 6 looks in and this 6 looks down. It's going to remove 6 from 5 cells. And then we're specifically looking at places where we're moving from 5 cells that avoid touching where this 1 and 9 are. So there's a total of 7 cells it can't be in, and the remaining 2 are going to be in the same column. And so that would give us pointing. And so often that kind of pointing is really important to find in puzzles like this. But what I found was even more powerful, which is that 6 and 8 both cross in the exact same way, from the same, obviously the same row, but also from this same column, both avoiding the 1, 9. And so there's actually only 2 cells left that can be 6, 8. So those 2 cells must be 6, 8. And that's a hidden pair. What a hidden pair does is it removes anything else we thought could have been in those 2 cells. You can also think about it as these 5 cells are a quintuple of whatever the other digits are. And so what we can do is we can think about what 2 digits did we just remove from here. But also it is a 6, 8 pair. And so it was hidden for the box, but it wasn't hidden for the column. So the 6, 8 pair does remove 6 and 8 from the rest of the column. And so these can't be 6 anymore. This 6 looks down. That puts a 6 in one of these 2. And then these can't be 8. This 8 looks up. That puts an 8 in one of these 3. So these corner marks help remind us that 8 isn't here and 6 isn't here. All right, but we can think about what we just removed. We removed a 2. What I'm looking for is what other cells can't be 2 in addition to the 6, 8, which added more cells that can't be 2. So we're down to these 3 for 2. Not immediately actionable. 3 doesn't seem to do anything. 4, so we have this 4 looking down. And now this is very cool because these 6, 8 can't be 4 anymore. And that leaves just 2 places for 4, which is going to point. Unfortunately, I don't have any way to... This is the only 4 on the grid, so we're not going to be able to follow up on that very easily right now. But that was the 4. The 5, 6, so not 6, 7 was removed. Unfortunately, that's all we get with 7. And then that's it. Okay. Well, we got the pointing for us. That's nice. That's why we follow up. So that was great. That was from the 6. And we can also look for crossings on this 4, 6. It would only be the 3. The 6 is already placed in the box. But unfortunately, we don't have any 3s here. So no crossings. All right, let's move on to the 1 and 3 here. So the 1 does look in here. It crosses the 6, 7. I looked left here to see if there were more potential crossings. There aren't, right? Always check for another one. And so 1's in one of these 2. That points down with this 1. This 1 looks in, putting a 1 in one of these 2. I hope you all enjoy the kind of description of not just what I find, but how I find it. I think that's the most important part of these videos, to be honest. I don't think the 1 does anything else. The 3's look down, putting a 3 in one of these 2. All right. And for this pattern, it's not all that important, but it can be useful to look at this specific row and this specific column that they don't occupy, because that's going to limit it to these 2. So the 7 is a buddy there, and it does put a 7 in one of these 2. But what I didn't notice, because of that very specific scanning I did, what I didn't notice is this 7 also helps. And so it actually just places the 7 in the box. These 2 7s look in, putting a 7 in one of these 3. All right. Now this could have crossings, but only the 4. And we know there's not another 4. All right. We already looked for crossings here. Okay. So I think we're good on this box. Yeah, let's move on to this box here. We have 6, 7, and 9. So 6 looks down, putting a 6 in one of these 2. The 7. Oh, the 6 and the 7 look down. I didn't realize both 6 and 7 are missing here. And so this is a hidden 6-7 pair, and this 7 resolves it. That's 6, that's 7. So we can follow up on that. There's another follow-up I want to do, but let's do the direct follow-ups first. Those 6s, and then these 7s. But this is a triple now. And what we actually know is that these digits here are 1, 3, 5, 9. So this is 3, 5, 9. This is 1, 3, 5. This is any of them. This can't be 1 or 9, so it's 3, 5. And so that means that the 9 is actually in one of these two in the column. And that is going to claim, although these two 9s already look down, so that doesn't really matter. And then this is a triple, the other 3 digits for the box. We need a 2. That 2 looks in. 4 and 8. And we have these two 8s. So the 8's placed, leaving a 2-4 pair behind. Since I reduced this row to 3 digits, I want to look right away. We need a 4, 5, 9. We know the left one's not 4. I think that's it. All right. So that was a lot. I was still just up here on this 6, 7, 9. So let's keep going. I think I got all that from the 6 and the 7. The 9 we took care of while we were looking at this. Anything else of note? So I'm noting that the 2 and the 5 look in here. And so 2 and 5 are in these 3. I'm wondering if there's something I can do with that. Well, that means the 2 is in one of these two. Yeah, we have the 2-4 pair looking up with this 2. Yeah, 2 is one of these two. Is this cell limited? I think it is. It's not 1, 2. It could be 3 or 4. It can't be 5 or 6. It could be, it can't be 7. It could be 8. Okay. I think I'm going to move on to the next band here. Let's do this band. So the 2, unfortunately, doesn't do anything. The 8s are done. Nothing vertical. We already kind of took care of the vertical. Let's move on to this 7, 3, and 8. So the 3s look down. We got that. These 3s look in, though. Puts a 3 in one of these two. And this is another trigger. Like, it's basically like have triggers of certain things to scan, right? Like I was talking about this 1, 9 here, or this 3, 7, or this 1, 7. Trigger looking for crossings. When you corner mark, as soon as you corner mark like this, where it's in 2 cells and not all 3 of them, because there's a different digit occupying here, think, okay, well, then where does it go in this column? And my eye immediately flicked up to here because all we need is a 3 in this row, and we've now reduced 3 to down here, and it caused claiming. Right, so I penciled these 3s, which caused me to look for 3 in this column, which I know doesn't go in this box because we just corner marked it in just those 2. And we have this 4 and 6 occupied, so I just had to look for the 3 here. And then now I immediately saw that 3 is going to be in one of these 3. And that claims, meaning 3 is going to be placed here, here, or here by the column. That's always going to be in box 7 here, meaning the rest of box 7 can't have a 3. So these 2 can't be 3 now. And now that these 2 can't be 3, the question might be, where does 3 go in this row then? So it's not here, 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 and then this 3 looks down. But unfortunately, these 2 are still viable. So 3 places for 3, right? All right, so I don't see an immediate effect of these 2 not being 3, but it's still a good find. All right, so all of that was from finding this 3 here, corner marking there. All right, the 7 puts a 7 in one of these 3. And then the 8s are done. These 2 7s we got. This is when we would have placed that 7 if we hadn't before. Any crossings here? So we could have the 9. That's it, just the 9 cross, but it doesn't. And then through here, the 3, the 7, and 8 are identical, so no good there. This box, I think we should just scan into it rather than out of it. We've already scanned into it from here. We just need to scan into it from here. So it's just this 2, which we already got. All right. So anything else in this band? I don't think so. Not yet. Let's move on to the final band. We got the 1 and the 9. So the 1 actually does have a crossing on this 6, 8 here. Putting a 1 in one of these 2. And now that's really important because this can't be 1 anymore. So now where does 1 go in the box? Only here, according to our corner marks, which we trust. And then that removed a 9 corner mark, so now 9's only here. So these two 9s look in, placing this 9. I feel like there was something with 9s I wanted to do, but maybe it wasn't here. All right. And then the 1. All right. I don't think this 1 does anything. The 9 and the 1. All right. These two digits are now limited because they're not these 4 givens and they're not these 2 corner marks. So they're not 6 digits. So they're at most 3 of them. We need a 2. Oh, this 2 looks in. So 2's only here. We need a 4. We need a 5. And that should be it. 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah. So a 4, 5, and a 2, 4, 5. Not helpful at the moment. This whole column is 2, 4, 6, 5. And I can already tell this is the only place for... Oh, no, never mind. 6 could be here. All right. 2, 4, 5, 6. So 2, 4, 5. 2, 5, 6. Sees a 4. I think this is any of 2, 4, 5, 6, unfortunately. Okay. I don't think these do anything right now. Let's look at this box. We have 6, 7, 8, 9. I don't think there's anything. And then 1, 2, 9 here. I think we already took care of. All right. So obviously we're not done. So we're going to look for low-hanging fruit here to mark. Basically, I'm going to go row by row. I'm looking to see if there was something in the row I may not have noticed that's already marked, and also whether there's new things we might want to mark. And for new markings, at least in my first pass around rows, columns, boxes, I'm going to only consider rows that have 4 or more givens in them already, because those are more likely to be limited. So this row, we need a 2, 3, 4, 5, 8. 2, 3, 4, 5, 8. So we're looking for anything that sees 2 of those. So like this sees a 2, this sees a 3, but well, this sees 2 and 4. So 3, 5, 8 is what's left. 2, 3, 4, 5, 8. This can't be 8 because of the 6, 8 pair and the corner marked 8s. And it can't be 4. So 2, 3, 5 is it. Yeah. 2, 3, 5. I don't know why I thought there'd be another one. This just can't be 3. This is 2, 4, 5, 8. All right. Didn't seem to do anything yet. Let's move this row, nothing. This row, nothing. Not this row, not this row. This row's penciled already. How about this row then? We need a 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. So this is 2. Oh, this can't be 2. Okay. Or 3 or 7. So this is 4, 5. So this is not 2. This could be 3, 4, 7. Oh, the 4's point. Remember that. That's not 4. Oh, the 4's point. So that actually is a naked 5. So let's just double check. I think it can only be 5. It can't be 1, 2, 3. 4's point. So not 4. Can be 5. Not 6, 7, 8, and 9. So it's a naked 5. That's quite nice. That's 3. All right. That's our 7 then. Let's just make sure. Well, what's left for the row? It's 2, 3, 4, 7. This sees 2, 3 in the 4's point. So it is 7. That's not 3. That places this 3. That places this 3. So this is 4, 7. Oh, not 7. What did I miss? 2, 4. This 2 tells us the order. That's 4, that's 2. All right, the whole row finished. So that's not 2. This 3 looks up, giving us the 5, giving us the 3 and the 8. That gives us our 3 and 6. Over here we get our 4 and whatever this digit is, 2. So these can't be 2 anymore. All right, 2, 4, 5, 6, unfortunately. No change there. This is a pair, though. This is 5, 7. The 7 tells us the order. That's 5, that's 7, giving us this 7 and that 7. That's our 9. 5 gives us the 4, so that's 5 and 4. That's not a 4. 2, 4, 5, 6. This is 1, 2, 5. It cleans up a little bit, but not in a way we'd like. 1, 2, 5, and so let's see, yeah, what's the rest of this row? 4, 6, 8, of course, it's always 4. This is the only place for 4 in the row. And then this can't be 6, that's 8, that's 6, that's 8. That's our 6. 2 digits here, we need a 2 and an 8. Here we need a 1 and a 3. The 3 tells us that's 1, that's 3. All right, how about this box? We need a 1. Not resolved. We need a 5. Is resolved. That's 1, that's 5. We have a 5 down here. All right, this column needs a 7, not 7, I missed it. Needs a 2. That's 8 and 2. What are these 3 digits? We need a 1. Can only go there. We need a 5. And we need a 9. 5 and 9. This 9 tells us that's 5, that's 9. Giving us 6. All right, it's just filling out. This is 4 or 5. Here we need a 8, 9. The 8 tells us the order. That's 9, that's 8. 8s are done. This is 2, 4, 5, not a 5. So it's 2, 4. That's a 2, 4 pair. So this is a 1, 6. That 6 tells us the order. That's 1, that's 6. That gives us 5, 2, and 1. That gives us the 4, 2, and 4. That's 5 and 4. We need a 2, which goes there, and a 9. All right. Interesting puzzle today. I think it just took longer because I decided to spend a little bit more time talking about my scanning techniques. Hope that was helpful. How'd you do?